And we are live. There we
Perfect.
go.
There we
Welcome
go.
to the show, Jean-Marc. So,
Thanks for having me, buddy. I appreciate it.
yeah, no problem. This is my old friend Jean-Marc, and he has been eager to come on to my YouTube channel. So I thought I'd bring him on. This is Jean-Marc is very new to this, so this is going to be pretty interesting. We've got quite a few things that we're going to talk about. Firstly, how have you been?
Oh, good, man. How are you?
I'm great, man.
How's the COVID stuff? Were you locked down and all that fun stuff? Or
Yeah, it is what it is. 2020 kind of took a shit. I was actually going to get to see Rage Against the Machine this summer, and that didn't happen.
yeah, that's so dumb now with all that stuff. Like you can't go near people and everything's canceled. I feel bad for people like yourself invested money in tickets, right?
Well, I didn't buy the tickets yet. I saw this coming. So once they announced they were going on tour, I was ready to buy tickets, and then COVID broke, and I said, well, let's see how this plays out. And sure enough, they were canceled.
Yeah, that's it, right? So,
yeah, man.
I mean, it happens. You can't do anything about it. You can cry about it, but everybody else is missing out too. So let's move on, right? Save some money and move on.
Definitely. So how have you noticed, like, how has this been for you where you're living? Because where I'm living, it's I think we have one case right now. So it's...
Yeah, because I'm so close to Trenton, they were bringing in a sick, they're not, I don't know, the sick, and it kind of spread a little bit at the beginning, and then it kind of tapered off because everybody was kind of staying home.
Well, that's right. They were isolating people in Trenton. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, and I work in a gym. So it's when it broke, everybody said, "What are we going to do?" And I said, "Well, we can do whatever you want to do, basically, but close it down and just be vigilant, I guess. But it's just wear masks, give people space, just follow everything you want to do, right?"
Yeah. So your gym must have closed down, though, right?
Oh yeah, we're still closed. We're supposed to open on phase 3, so it'll be all gyms across Ontario anyways.
And we're in phase 2 right now, right?
We're on phase 2, and then Toronto opens tomorrow, phase 2, and Windsor is still in phase 1.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've heard that 78% of the new COVID cases are Toronto, York, Windsor, I think, are the 3.
It's not really their fault. It's like they just, to leave their small apartment that's like 300 square feet, they run into 10 people. You don't even want to congregate. You can't avoid it.
Yeah, it's population density. Like, yeah, North Bay, population density so low. Everybody's like giving us a pat on the back, and we're not doing anything. We're not doing any different than anyone else. It's just a case of proximity in that.
Yeah, exactly. That's it there, and we just got to be vigilant. Just be nice to each other. It's a trying time for a lot of people, but I mean, people are losing money. People are making money. It's all a big wash right now. So we don't know what's going to happen. We won't see financial ramifications from this, I don't think, for years to come. Like we're already saying we're billions and billions of dollars behind, but we might not be. We'll probably be worse off when everything is said and done with this.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm gonna experience some fucking financial ramifications come income tax season, because I've had to go on EI and get CERB, and I don't want to get into the whole details of that, but I got a feeling I'm going to have to owe the Canadian government a whole lot of fucking money when this is all said and done.
You're not the only one. I'm looking the same thing, right? So to me, it's like, Jesus, what am I going to do?
And here's the thing is, I signed up for EI and I got CERB, and I didn't want CERB. I didn't ask for it, and now I got to deal with the ramifications of having to keep a bunch of money in my bank account that I got to pay back, and it's going to be a nightmare.
You and I are in the same boat, man. I wanted EI. I figured I lost a couple thousand over it, but I'm like, what can you do, right? Because I know I'm not the only one. You're not the only one. There's, millions of people that are going to be in the same boat. So, like, I just think the government's got to be careful, and if they screw over too many people, I don't think that they will have the seats next time when voting comes around.
Well, okay, that's an interesting comment. Because I've heard the opposite. I've heard a lot of people say they think that the government handled it really well, because they were like, let's just throw money at it and we'll fucking sort it out later.
Yeah, no, I think the Canadian government, like the federal government, has screwed it up. I think provincially, I think everybody's on par. Like they're saying, like Fort here in Ontario is doing a great job. It sounds like Vancouver did really good, and all the provincials are doing really well. It's our federal government is just dropping the ball left, right, and center. As far as I'm concerned, that's just my personal opinion. I'm not here to get into a pissing contest, but that's kind of what it's at.
Is that because of CERB where they're dropping? Like, I don't know. I don't follow you. Where exactly?
They're spending money and they're doing things that I'm like, what are you doing? Like, if you tell me go back on EI, and when they said they were going to cancel CERB and everybody's going to go on EI, I was excited. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm pay, like, take the taxes off my check, and then you just, yeah, that's it. And we'll get money back that way. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But now they're like, no, we'll extend the CERB. It's going to cost us like $14 billion. I'm like, oh my God. But the other way to look at it, and it's how much does it cost for a hospital stay? Like a day.
I'd imagine a lot. I don't know the numbers, but yeah.
Let's say $1,000. Just keep it easy. So if you've got to spend 3 or 4 days in the hospital, that's $4,000. I'll pay you $2,000 a month to sit at home.
That's smart. That's a good point.
That's the way the government's looking at it. Not everybody's looking at it that way, but I think I could kind of see it. And they also don't want to bombard our healthcare system all at once. So if everybody kind of trickles in, then it's okay. But if you just sent, we have 14 million in Ontario. If you sent 14 million people to every hospital, we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
You just stop and just hope that you can live through it. That's all.
Yeah, well, and it looks like we're through the thick of it. Like I checked the numbers today, we're at like 300 new cases today.
But that's Ontario, right? If you look,
that's Canada.
Okay, is it Canada? That's not.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. So if you're looking at Canada though, but then you look at like Arizona and Florida's and all that stuff, and how they're like, it's a myth. We need to get the economy going. Dude, they're on fire. Like they're like, look at all the people that are testing positive and people are dying, and they go, yeah, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah,
it's true.
It's a dumpster fire. You're absolutely right. Yeah, my parents, my parents go to Texas every winter, and I was like, you're not going. Like it's not happening. You're done. You're not going this year.
Not to Texas, Jesus Murphy.
Well, they're not going anywhere in the States. Like you're staying, you're sitting this one out unless we get a vaccine, which they're saying is likely the end of the year, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, the EU, so the European Union said they're going to ban Americans from traveling over to Europe today.
That's awesome. I mean,
it sucks because you want to go and travel, but at the same spot, they're like, you keep your American sickness with you guys, and we'll battle.
Your American sickness.
But it's true. It's stupidity. Is what it is.
Oh, but the thing is it's not everyone. It's not like it's not everyone, and honestly, it's like I said earlier. I think it's more of a case of population density. People are saying you guys aren't doing the work, and there is that. I can't argue that. There's definitely people saying this is a myth and we shouldn't have to lock down or whatever. But most of the problem comes from population density, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. On that. But at the same spot, you can still avoid people, man. Like if you're looking at Florida and Arizona, and they've opened up bars and all this stuff. Even Texas, and they're saying there was a bartender in Texas saying like, I got it. I had to go to work in COVID. They didn't give me a mask. I got COVID. Now I'm out for 14 days.
Yeah.
They don't, and the States doesn't want to peel back faces, where I think our governments will.
Yeah.
And Ontario is going to be the honeypot of it, of course.
Yeah.
Like if they go to open it up, and then next week Toronto's got 300 cases, Ford has no problem shutting it back down.
Yeah, I actually have to commend Ford. I think he did a good job with this. I think he's done well.
One thing I appreciate about Ford is if he doesn't know what he's talking about, he gets somebody else to talk to him. So one of the guys behind him is, I have no idea. I'm not a doctor. Let me get a doctor. Hang on one sec.
As opposed to Donald Trump, who argues with the doctors.
Oh my God, yeah. Like take this. Take mercury. It's going to be good for you. Yeah, okay, you're an idiot.
I've been taking this stuff that'll kill you, even though I don't have it.
Guys, he's chewing back on Big Macs and McDonald's fries. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm going to go golf in Florida. I'm like, you're a moron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I heard he had a big rally, and 4 of his people or something, 4 or 6 of his people all had COVID, and
yeah, so he had his rally that was at 1 million. They said they were going to get 1 million people to show up, and it was all sold out. And I guess these TikTok kids in Is it K-pop? I guess that's some type of Korean pop.
K-pop,
yeah, whatever it is. I guess they took the tickets. So they all made up accounts and emails, and they took all these tickets. And I was like, that's the dumbest thing you can do.
So they stole free tickets, is what you're saying.
So they signed up for the tickets. They got the email tickets, and then they never went. So they were like, joke's on you. While looking at it, if you hate a group that much, you allow them to go. You go, hey, take all your tickets. I'll go get COVID. Half of yous will probably die, and we get to win the next election. But they're like, no, we'll give you a hand, and we'll steal some tickets for you.
That's a good point.
Social distance. It's ridiculous.
It's a good point, actually. Yeah, survival of the fittest.
Basically, at that point, right? And if you're looking at the South, and they're all Trump supporters, it's hard. It's just, you look at it and it's ridiculous, and I'm just glad we're in Canada. That's all I can say to that.
Oh, absolutely. And I have friends in the States, so I don't want to, I want to be careful not to shit all over the States, but
I'm not shitting all over the States. I'm shitting over their policies. A big difference. I feel for the people who just follow. And they're like, yeah, all right, that sounds right. Because our president wouldn't put us in a position to hurt, or any of his officials.
Jeez.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is, and you can only do so much, right? Like if you want a social distance, you can, but it's hard when you're trying to go out to a grocery store and there's 8 people huddled around you because you're fighting over a fresh apple or something. You kind of don't have that opportunity, right?
Yeah, well, I think that's the argument that a lot of the people in the States are saying is we should have the freedom to choose to social distance or to not social distance. But I don't think that's working out so well.
No, it's not, because the guys who are saying social distance, I'm surprised there's been more shootings. There's a lot, but I mean, there hasn't been more, right? Get out of my personal space. Here you go.
Shoot. Oh, wow. I don't know about that.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, they've got so many different things there. Did you? Okay, perfect.
Did I what? Oh, I tagged you in.
Yeah, I was just seeing you tag me in that.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw. We got some comments. Randy Blake said we're a couple of buttes. Thank you very much, good sir.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay. Oh, on the Facebook. Yeah, all right, perfect.
And Daryl, our buddy Daryl, he says, "Woo!"
It's always good. Yeah, we don't have to worry too much about that. But yes. So let's go. Let's get out of the Trump thing. Let's go back to the N64 released today, 1996.
N64 released today, 1996.
Yeah,
I believe.
What would you say that? Would you say that that's our high school system? I would think, right? Like, and the amount of times that we've sat together, not social distancing and fighting over No Mercy or NWO World Tour or Bond or whatever have you. I mean, those are the memories that I cherish, and I try and maintain those, right?
Absolutely. Well, I remember the first time I think that either of us played Nintendo 64 was at my birthday party.
And I think it was from Japan too, wasn't it?
It was like an early release from Japan.
I think it was the Ultra 64. Was it like a U64?
That's right. It was still called the Ultra 64 because it was still in like beta. How the fuck did that get to North Bay?
Dude, how did a lot of things get to North Bay? That's the question.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that was just kind of funny that we signed up for it today. We're doing this, and that's the thing. And I just laughed because I was like, yeah, that's kind of that was our experience in our teenage years in a nutshell. That's how old we are. So if anybody's watching,
that came out way before we were born, though.
Oh, I wish we could say that. Yeah.
The best wrestling games by far. Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
I don't know about that, man.
What? Whoa! What do you mean you don't know about that? You have played.
Dude, I still have No Mercy. I could probably get No Mercy in about 3 seconds. It's on my.
I have No Mercy.
So do I.
Played No Mercy, and you are going to sit there having played No Mercy with me. I know how many hours you have logged on.
I know too. I still do.
You are going to sit there and tell me that is not the greatest pro wrestling game of all time.
Here comes the pain.
Blasphemy! Here comes the pain is good. Here comes the pain is good. It's a great game.
Listen. If you and I are sitting down, I'm putting the 64 version in, obviously, but I'm just thinking of the amount of time we also had on that game. It's the roster's fantastic, and Here Comes the Pain. They had systems, they had everything like that. I think it was a good game. I think it could be one of the better games. It's top 2.
Here Comes the Pain. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say No Mercy. I would think.
I think
some people would say WrestleMania 2000. kick rocks. We're good there.
I mean, WrestleMania 2000 was good, but like No Mercy was an improvement to it. It was just a little bit better. It took.
Well, it's true, but I mean, looking at the times now, like the wrestling games suck.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Have you seen the newest one?
No, because I gave up.
Yeah, well, you're
Well, what, 2K20? 2K20 is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I think it's 2K20 or 19. I don't really know.
2K20 was so bad that on 2 weeks ago on Raw, they had 2K19 on the board in the one of their shots. If you didn't notice that, that's how bad. Yeah, that's how bad 2K20 was. So I'm like, oh wow, that is fantastic.
Well, I heard it's just all glitches. It's all we were being called out, good sir.
I'm not
Perota is saying it's getting heated over No Mercy, and Anthony Ricciuti, I will give him this. His comment is 100% accurate. He said, "I kicked both your asses at Goldeneye." That's the Rooch.
Because he was Odd Job, that little bastard. I still say that. People go, "What the hell?" I'm like, "No, Odd Job," and they're like, "What?" And I say, like, "Stupid Rooch."
Because he was too small. You couldn't fucking shoot him.
Couldn't shoot him. Jesus Christ.
Well, what I remember, Anthony was the first person I remember seeing, and I think Rob could do this too, but they were so good that they would play Proximity Mines.
Oh, no, I hate that. I do.
Yeah.
I still hate that. I watch that, and like every time I get spawn killed in Call of Duty, I yell Rooch. I'm like, man, Proximity Mines, and you would just like, you die. You're like, what? It just, your screen just go boo-doo, boo-doo, and it'd be all red. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Man, now it's like, now everybody knows it, but back then we were like 14 years old, and it's like, how's he doing this? He's killing me before. I can't even walk without getting blown up.
It's so true. It's ridiculous.
It blew your mind at the time. It's like, how did he figure out how to do that? He's one step ahead of us on everything.
Yeah. Okay. Now I can see live comments. I was in private chat. That's why when you're saying, I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. I mean, but it is what it is. And I think those are the things that made us a lot better as human beings. I mean, playing those games and understanding what the issues were. Like, I mean, sitting with all those guys, I mean, to me, I'd do that again tomorrow if we could.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? AEW is producing a wrestling game, and there's a very good chance it's going to be AKI, Sin Sophia, whatever. So we might have an opportunity to play across long distances with the internet.
That would be something fun. Let's continue on with the wrestling here.
We got comments here. Slippers only. I don't know what that means. What is slippers only?
Slappers only.
Slappers. Oh, slappers yeah. And then Rooch says,
slippers only.
Odd Job with no gun, just hand chop.
Dude, get the hot. Like, he's gonna make me just break my computer. Oh, I don't even want to think about that.
You're gonna come up to North Bay and just beat the tar out of them.
Cough on him. Bring my southern charm up. That's words right now.
Yeah.
No, it's just to me it's amazing that that just thinking about that game kind of makes me want to go and buy GoldenEye now and just play that.
Yeah. Now here's another thing that I was thinking of, and I don't know if you'll know the answer, but I think the N64 had internet capability, eh? Like, you could play online, I think.
No,
nobody did.
No, I think you had to get the attachment for it, right? Like
the
disk drive. But no, I think it was the Dreamcast. I think the Dreamcast had it first.
I think N64 had it too, but nobody ever played online against each other.
No, there's no way.
I think it did.
Where would you plug it into?
I think the fucking expansion pack. You'd put a little modem in it and go.
Dude, no, the dial-up? Yeah, that would be awesome right now. Yeah, that's it. I'm calling.
It was dial-up back then too, eh? Yeah.
Big news on that, man.
There's no way.
News on that. There was never. Okay, why am I listening to Rob Perota right now?
No, it was never released in either Canada or Japan. The internet was never released in Canada or Japan?
The internet, really? The internet was never released in Canada or Japan. What are we talking about right now?
Internet, I think he means the internet connection for the N64 was never.
Where was it? Guam? Like, what's going on? If you're going to have it in two markets, you got to have it North American market and Japan. The DD, yeah, okay, yeah. That's what it's talking about.
Never released. See, we've got some knowledgeable people in the chat. Thank you.
The disk drive that didn't work ended up going to Sony, right? And then Sony ended up making the PlayStation 1, I believe. That was kind of how it went, I believe.
That was true. Sony was licensed to make the Nintendo PlayStation, which then became the Sony PlayStation when Nintendo said, we don't want your crap.
Yeah, good call, Nintendo. Thank God you have a Switch now. So, what are you playing video games at all anymore, or what are you doing?
I play them a little bit, but not like I used to. You know, I don't even have a PS4, man. Like I waited. I've said this before. I waited for the price to drop, and it never dropped. It just got better. Like the original PlayStation has dropped in price, but they've made better PlayStations at the same price. So I wait for that one to drop, and that never drops. And now they're getting out of PS5. So I guess I'm just not getting a PS4.
I don't know. I'm done. Forza JMP. Thanks, Frankie. But yeah, so I mean,
what about me?
You're a jabroni. Just stop. I've got my Saturdays for the boys, if anybody's wondering. My flag in the background.
By the way, maybe we don't use our last names. Just I don't know. I don't use my last name on here, and
somebody gonna follow me on the internet. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, believe me, I've seen some pretty interesting things.
Yeah, you have. We grew up together. But that's a different show.
So, sorry, what were you saying again?
I was talking about video games. We're playing any, and you said
okay,
no.
Yeah. I mostly play you know what I play a lot of that I probably shouldn't admit?
Candy Crush?
No, even worse.
Barbie Playhouse? I don't know, man.
I've been playing Pokemon Go.
Still?
Yeah,
you were just pissed off about a 64, so yeah, I'm surprised you have that.
Honestly, once the pandemic kicked in, it was like, well, I got a lot of free time. What'll get me out of the house? Fuck Pokemon Go. I don't even watch Pokemon. Like, I don't know who these fucking Pokemon are. It's just like, okay, this will give me somewhere to walk or somewhere to go, something to get out of the house. And it's like I caught a fucking Pikachu or a fucking, I don't know, a rock monster. I don't know what the fuck they are, but it's
rock lobster.
And then I can fight people in it too. So that's kind of cool. But I don't know. I'm not like a fan of Pokemon. Like never watched the show.
The game all the app did was basically get you out and walk.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Basically it is. It's something to get you out of the house. So what about you? What video games do you play?
What am I playing now? I'm playing Warzone. Play some
Call of Duty
Warzone. Oh, Call of Duty Warzone.
The one where you hit the guy with the fucking tube TV.
Yeah, and it shatters.
Yeah.
What else am I playing? NHL, FIFA. You know, just trying to keep yourself busy during the pandemic when I was off.
That's cool.
Where do you see the wrestling? We're talking about wrestling. Where do you see the wrestling business going? There's just so many issues right now that with the cancel culture is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, what happened? AEW guy got fired.
No, Sammy Guevara didn't get fired. Sammy Guevara he got suspended. Do you watch AEW, by the way?
I a little bit here and there. I used to PVR it, but then I don't have time. So I'm too busy working. I don't have time to watch.
I highly recommend it. I got to say that. I think it's it has what wrestling's been missing. There's a lot of the wrestling in the ring is not always the greatest. I'm going to say that. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not, especially the women's division. But what I really like about it is the storylines. They have a long-term plan for all of their storylines. They build it one step at a time. So I really recommend it. With that said, Sammy Guevara is a really cool up-and-coming wrestling star that's kind of making a name for himself in I like the pinky, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I'm drinking Pink Whitney.
Probably the toughest man that I know is drinking with a pinky.
Easy on that stuff.
What do you mean easy on that stuff?
We don't need to get into that tonight. Maybe we'll do it next Wednesday or Tuesday. We'll make it a weekly show, and then people will have to tune in.
Well, I do. I'll get into that in a bit, but I probably won't be able to do it next week. But we'll get into that later. So, because I work 4 to 12, so I don't know if you want to do this after midnight. Probably not. And if you do, I would love to do it after midnight. But if you can't,
what? Yeah, no, I'm good, man.
Sorry, man.
No, don't apologize. Once I get back to work, I'll be working later too. So.
Yeah,
we'll be maybe we'll do something like that. But yeah, if you're on
I can do it on a Saturday at a real normal time, but other than that, I work Monday to Friday, 4 to 12 next week. So
yeah, that's working man. That's being a man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, with the wrestling business, like right now, is the cancel culture. Like some of the stuff I'm hearing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like they're suspending guys, firing guys. Looks like Terry Reynolds did one against Brock Lesnar today.
What was that? Did you read it? Nobody read it. I didn't read it yet.
Yeah, like
I saw it, but
yeah, I didn't really read it. I guess he made a sexual comment to her or something like that. Who else got it? Ted Hart's getting his tomorrow, I think.
Ooh, I've met Ted Hart. That's
Ted looks like some girl came out today.
Well, he's had like allegations, but they've never been proven. And I don't know. I don't want to.
I just kind of happened to read that, and I said, "Well, let's continue to go down the line, I guess."
Okay, yeah, go on.
Everybody seems. I really want to get into the Corny and his wife stuff.
Well, no, I do want to finish the Sammy Guevara one because it's probably it's one of the more thought provoking ones because Sammy is he's 24 or 26 years old or something like that, and what he did was he said he met Sasha Banks backstage at WWE. He didn't do anything. He didn't physically do anything.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
No. I know, and I'm saying, yeah, I know he didn't do anything, but continue.
But what he did was he said in a podcast that she was so hot that he just wanted to rape her, which is not cool at all. Like, not at all cool. But
okay, don't say that on a podcast, moron.
No, it's a stupid thing to say. Absolutely.
Is he not a good-looking kid too? Could he not just ask her on a date? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. I think
he's got no balls, I guess.
No balls, absolutely.
No balls to go up and just say, "Hey, talk to me." She probably would have called him a jabroni and slapped him. But I mean, hey, try it out. Why not?
Probably the best female wrestler on the planet at that time. Probably is right now too.
Santina Marella. Santina's probably my favorite female wrestler of all time. But
I guess I can't argue with that. Don't argue with that in today's climate.
No, please don't. I'm telling you, that's why Santino got fired. His sister was better.
Santina. Do we still have the classic VHS? Yeah, I have some kicking around, but I don't really watch them too much. I have tapes that I used to trade too, kicking around.
It's true.
WWE hasn't, Frank Ricciuti, WWE hasn't been the same since Vince bought WCW. That is absolutely true. A lot of people believe that.
I don't know. Ruthless Aggression was pretty good, man.
Ruthless Aggression was good, and there's been good moments. There's been good times, but I don't think it's ever been the same since WCW was around. I think it's interesting because comic books and wrestling. Comic books have the golden age, which is when like Captain America, Superman, and all of them were born or whatever. Wrestling has the golden age, which is Hulk Hogan.
The 40s? Dude, okay, come on now. We're holding on to comic books from the 40s?
Okay.
Give me a break.
The golden age was good, but the silver age was better. That's when the X-Men, the 70s, Spider-Man, Stan Lee came into his prime. And the same thing is true about wrestling. The second generation, the Attitude Era, is the prime, the best.
The only reason it was the best was because they just took the brakes off of everything.
Yeah, exactly. They went fucking balls to the wall.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it was. We watched it because we had DX and we had the NWO and we had all these different things we could watch, and it was entertaining. We had 5 hours of entertainment every Monday or Tuesday, and we watched it and we enjoyed ourselves. And it was really good time because they had to get the ratings. If you look at the ratings back then, the ratings were like WWE was getting their ass kicked. They were still getting a 5. Like that's what people need to understand is like, yeah, you lost, but you were getting a 5.
Yeah,
like business was great.
Yeah,
but now it sucks. Now I'm just reading the roots here. In your opinion, what does today's wrestling need to make a comeback? A, it needs fans.
Well, yeah.
2, they need to stop bringing back all the retired guys, which we'll talk about Taker in a bit. But they need to stop it. Like if you're going to bring them back in a commentator role like they did with Gorilla. They need more guys that are just charismatic. You know, you want to go to the golden age, like they need Bobby Heenan's bat. They need the Jimmy Harts. Then the Attitude Era, they need the Stone Cold. Like, you can't get Stone Cold and The Rock. Like, those guys are generational, like our time. But that's what you need to do. Like, the value, the production value is amazing. It's just they don't have enough. I just don't think they have enough talent. These guys are all jacked up on there.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think that they have talent. But I think that they script their promos. That's a big problem. Because back in the day, it was go out there, this is your character, go out there and say what the hell you want to say. Now it's say this, and if you don't say it good enough, we get rid of you. What I think they're missing is what I think they're missing is what AEW does right, is a long-term storyline. I think
Dude, fuck AEW.
What do you mean fuck AEW? What do you mean fuck AEW?
They just did Jericho and Tyson?
Yeah, Jericho and Mike fucking Tyson.
It's been done. Give me something
different. It's been done.
Fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin and Tyson. Remember that shit, Shawn Michaels? Remember that? Yeah, exactly. Chris Jericho is a poor man Shawn Michaels.
Chris Jericho's a poor man Shawn Michaels? Blasphemy. Hey, listen, Shawn Michaels is the greatest of all time.
You pumped the brakes. You're forgetting about Ric Flair, baby.
You know what? It is neck and neck between Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels. I will say that. However, Jericho is in the same realm. They're they're cut from the same mold.
Well, it's a pretty shitty mold because Jericho's been around too long.
Wow, man. Listen, I don't care what you say. Firstly, it wasn't an imitation of Shawn Michaels he was doing with Tyson. It was an imitation of Austin. Very derivative of the Austin and Tyson.
So when they show it on SportsCenter and they go, look what happened, and I go, oh, that kind of looks familiar because I watched it when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Some things that are old aren't new again. That's one of the storylines it's not.
I don't think that it's that. They're not trying to do they're not trying to imitate or copy the WWE. They just tried to have a moment with Mike Tyson. They had a confrontation with Mike Tyson and Chris Jericho. So what I was going to say, back to my original point, is what I like, and I've already said this, but I'm going to say it again. What I think the WWE needs is a more consistent storyline, because if you watch, there are two wrestlers, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. They're tag teams that don't like each other. They're partners that don't like each other. And every week, maybe one guy misses a tag. Maybe one guy ducks a move and hits his partner. They don't split up every fucking week and then get back together unexpectedly the week after. They don't heel turn back together, hate each other today, wrestling each other the next week.
Just because you yell doesn't make you right, man. You know that, right? Don't try and cut a promo on me. Fuck. I'm telling you right now, like what we're looking at is that the female division is fantastic. I personally think. I think the female division is great. I just don't think that they don't have a strong enough male demographic. There's nothing to draw me there. There's no reason I want to watch that. Like I'm not watching somebody drink a beer on stage. Like back when we were younger, that's what it was. Put somebody through a table. Like go get, put Mae Young through a table, drink beer, do all kinds of crazy stuff. We didn't know what was going to happen.
I got Daryl making my points for me. He says, the guy that says Jericho is around too long and says the Nate is number one. Oh, burn!
Whatever. I'm not even going to start with that because I got so many different things.
I will say this. No matter what you say, Ric Flair is the greatest of all time. He was the last NWA champion when it was a national wrestling organization. He was WCW through and through. And then he came to WWF with his belt, beat the hell out of Hogan, and took his belt too. And he's still around. Greatest of all time.
I hate Hulk Hogan. I really hate Hulk Hogan. Oh, he's such an asshole. I can't argue with that. He's such an idiot. Like he's a heel. He was a good guy, but he's a heel. Like, it just drives me crazy.
He was such a good guy that even when he cheated, you had to like him.
No, he's an idiot. Oh yeah. So another question though: when does Vince McMahon get canceled?
When does he get canceled? Like what do you mean?
So they're canceling everything right now. Somebody takes a big block of attitude and then goes into the ruthless aggression stage. Then you have the Kiss My Ass Club or get Trish Stratus to get on all fours and bark like a dog. How long do you think that's going to last? Somebody's got to be out there going, we got to cancel this old man.
Yeah, they're digging up tweets from fucking 10 years ago, and they've got video evidence of Vince McMahon sexually harassing people on national TV.
Dude, it happens all the time. Like, you get some poor kid in an NHL draft who got drafted by Boston. Is it McAvoy? And it said down, like, I love every other NHL team but the Boston Bruins. He said that when he was 14. He got drafted by the Boston Bruins and they pulled it up. Like,
and they canceled him over that shit?
No, because they're saying, like, I know they're getting all these NFL stars that are, all of a sudden randomly on draft day, there's a tweet that comes out that he's homophobic or he's racist or he made a dumb remark when he was 14. I'm like, dude, like 14, you don't know what your brain's doing. And if he's training to be some type of a super athlete, like they don't really have the capability to do it.
It is a tough line because on the one sense, it's like if the guy is like a homophobic or a racist piece of shit, he should be punished. But if he said that shit when he was a different person and he's grown away from it and grown up, which is actually back to the Sammy Guevara point that I was going to make, is since he had said that shit on a podcast, he had contacted Sasha Banks and apologized, and he was only like 21 when he made the comment.
Well, I know it's true. But I mean, at the same point, I'm very not. Don't read that. Yeah, don't read that. No, but I mean, you got so many things that are going to cancel you now. It's ridiculous. Like if there'd have been like I tell people, like some of the kids I work with, I go, if there was social media when we were in high school, I think we'd be in prison, all of us.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like we would. Just ridiculous.
Definitely
right?
on a terrorist watch list.
I wouldn't go that far. We weren't terrorists. Like we didn't have pilot's license or anything. But I mean, that's another thing. Something too, though. Like
I'll play something off there that you'll be like, oh yeah, that would get us on a terrorist list.
Well, don't say that because now you're an idiot. We did nothing illegal. I did nothing illegal.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, but I mean that's where it is. I'm on the terrorist watch. I'm a terrorist watch list. I bet you he is. Yeah. So I mean, that's like I don't know what's going to happen with wrestling. I really don't. Like if Vince dies, what do they do? Like NXT was good, but then it got kind of watered down. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, okay, so like, we'll bring guys from the main. NXT's getting over. We'll bring somebody else over from the main roster, bring them down, and then like I'm like, no, you bring those guys up. Don't go down. Bring them up.
Yeah, it does seem that once they ascend to a certain level, pardon the pun, because the Ascension is one person or one group that was very guilty of this, but once they ascend to a certain level and to the main roster, they're not used right. The magic disappears as soon as they're on the main roster.
If you look at like OVW, now when OVW was around and they had all the guys, they had John Cena and they had Brock Lesnar and Batista and all these guys, they brought them up. They never brought them down. They didn't go, we're going to go live to OVW. So they bring all this talent up and then this talent goes through and becomes champions. And that's how they're celebrated. They started in OVW and then went up.
So how many of those guys do you think had to fuck Jim Cornette's wife to get a push?
Jesus, that is so true, right? Like that's when you read that, you go Corny's wife, and you go, well, Corny's got some money. He's a wrestler. He's probably got some type of a valet or something that he did. Then you see his wife, and you're like, oh my god, I would retire from wrestling, man, dude. Like I could just see Cornette like, put some double cheese on that motherfucker. Come on,
double cheese, motherfucker.
Let me hit you with my tennis racket, son of a bitch. Like, it's so dumb. I mean, I don't know. Like, to get a push though, like, not Pat Patterson. There's things about Pat, like rumors.
That's not true. Well, that's not true.
Rumor innuendo says to get a push.
Well, there was a sex scandal in the 90s, and he was named in it, and the people that were guilty were sort of found out, and Pat Patterson was sort of. You can never really prove someone's innocent, but it's sort of largely believed that he was grouped in with stuff that he didn't do.
Absolutely, because if it wasn't, he would have been found guilty, right?
Yeah,
that's right. OJ didn't do it.
Wait, whoa.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if we're going by the court of law, I mean, OJ's innocent. I mean, Who am I?
Listen, the court's obviously not always right. There's especially in sexual assault cases.
Absolutely. All right. So where do you see indie wrestling going?
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people are saying, because of all these allegations in the UK, that the UK wrestling scene could kind of get wiped out.
And that was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It almost seemed by the week.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because they had a resurgence of the World of Sport, which was the UK wrestling program that was around in the 70s, 80s, 90s, was around for a while. And then WWE launched NXT UK basically to wipe that out and was kind of doing a good job at it. And now this is like the final blow. Is every star seems to be on this cancel culture list. Like everybody's
so dumb. Like, could you imagine seeing somebody, you're out at a bar, you're having a few pop after a match, and some girl comes up to you and you think she's a fangirl, and you try and put a move on her, and then she gives you the slap in the face, you forget about it, you move on to the next one. Then 10 years later, she rolls in and goes, "Well, 10 years ago at a bar, I slapped my ass, so I slapped him in the face."
I don't like what?
Dude, I'm telling you.
Is that what's happening? I don't think that's the story that's out there.
Dude, there are a lot of stories out there.
There are a lot of stories, but a lot of them seem pretty bad. Jack Gallagher basically is done in wrestling. He's fired
because he's an idiot. Like half of these guys are morons anyway, so I really don't care if they get canceled or not.
Except Walter, apparently. Mike Levesque is asking, where else do you wear those masks, bud?
Just his mom's room.
And hey, never mind.
So I mean, what the fuck? All right, yeah. So I mean, it's the cancer culture is going everywhere. Like we got Jimmy Kimmel right now. I guess the internet just found out what the Man Show is. I'm kind of just on Twitter.
The internet just found out what the Man Show is? What? They want to cancel Jimmy Kimmel for the fucking Man Show?
Dude, he had to come on and he apologized today for blackface. They've got a apologize for using blackface in a sketch show. What else happened here? Offensive because he's a sexist prick and had women jumping on trampolines.
That's kind of how his career was built. Is your computer about to reset, John Mark?
No, I'm all right. No, I just got a message. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so everything's been canceled. Jimmy Kimmel, he dropped an N-bomb, I guess, and they got it on audio. So like
an N-bomb?
Yeah. So they're like, what the hell's going on here?
That's kind of a pretty shitty thing to do, actually.
Hey, man, it is what it is, right?
It is what it is. No, it's not. That's not okay. Kids bust out an N-bomb.
Whoa, man! You got to pump the brakes here, son. You can't get mad. So you could cancel. So this is what I'm saying. It's okay. He's a left. He's a far extreme left. So if it's a right, you can cancel anybody, and if the right gets mad, they're just racist and they're pricks. But if the left does it, it's okay. No, that's culture. No, that is a culture. That's exactly what happens.
That is not what. That is not
exactly. Dude, okay. So right now, if I went and I don't even think I have black paint, but if I went blackface, you went blackface, we called ourselves the Black Chicks. You think they'd get mad at us? But the Wayans brothers could be whiteface? Like, come on, man. Like,
I understand there's a world of difference between whiteface and blackface.
No, there's not.
What do you mean, no, there's not?
It's just they're trying to make fun of a different race that is called racism. Just because you're black, you can't get away with it. Racism's on both sides, man. Oh, you're laughing at me?
Okay, you realize there is a history of black roles being played by white people in blackface because they wouldn't allow black people to play a part on a.
I understand if you go and watch. Yes, that happens all the time. What's his name? Iron Man. He was. What do you mean, you people? I don't know his name, man.
Robert Downey Jr.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay. That's not at all what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
John Wayne did it. John Wayne played an Asian back in the day because they didn't allow Asian actors. It's just a part of history. Are we the racist ones? No, we can open and talk about it, sit down and talk about it.
I know Mickey Rooney played an Asian in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
There you go.
Yeah, it's probably the most offensive thing I've ever seen.
Probably pretty close, I would think. But I mean,
terrible.
Neither here nor there, right? I mean, if the left does it, it's all good. If the right does it, we cancel him. I mean, that's just the way life is.
That's not how it is. Jim Cornette is a lefty. He's getting canceled right now.
No, he's still over.
He is over. The thing about Jim Cornette, though, is how the fuck do you cancel a guy who runs his own podcast?
You just pull him off the podcast.
He owns it. It's his podcast.
Does he have an app? Does he have like a Cornette app?
He's on there are places that host his.
Yeah, but if he's on whatever one of them, like they'll pull him. They don't give a shit. He'll lose sponsorship. You can't. What are you gonna do? Sit at home, make no money?
I don't think Jim Cornette really cares about money, to be honest. I mean, I think I'm not going to say he doesn't care about money, but I think he's kind of a made man. I think if he doesn't make any money, he'll be set for life.
Was he in the mob? He's a made man.
Well, he's like made man in the sense that he's got enough money to live off for the rest of his life.
Yeah, but I mean, but still, that'll run out sooner than later. How does this video not have an echo?
It's an Xbox headset.
Yeah, no, it's my Xbox headset. It's a Windows headset. That's why. Okay, so Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace. I don't know who that is.
Bubba Wallace, black NASCAR driver.
Oh, okay.
So black, all that stuff going on in the States, obviously. Let me just pull it up to make sure I don't screw anything up. Only black NASCAR driver. Talladega, there was what there's thought to be a noose hanging from his garage. So his team found it. He didn't find it. His team found it. Made a big deal out of it. Called the FBI. NASCAR went on this whole thing. Poor Bubba.
That's pretty fucked up.
Oh, hang on. It gets better. It was basically a pull down for the garage door. The way the so it was the garage door.
So they fucking freaked out over nothing then.
Exactly. So what happens is that like all of NASCAR gets offended because it's sort of considered a redneck sport, and everybody blows it out of proportion. Now they find out this poor guy's looking like Jussi Smollett or whatever his name was,
Smollett, yeah,
whatever his name is. But yeah, so I feel bad for Bubba. But I mean,
did this Bubba guy? I don't know anything about this story, but did he claim that somebody put a noose?
Oh, his team did.
So you can't put it on him.
That's what I said. It's not his fault. It's his team's fault. Well, so somebody seen it and was like, "Oh, it's a noose," and then we're like, "No, it's been there for years. It's a pull down for the garage door." Yeah. So this poor guy is just getting laughed out of town.
But it's not his fault. That's not fair. This is not the same as that Jussi Smollett guy. That guy faked some shit. That guy is, and there's an example of someone on the left getting canceled. By the way, for the record.
What? Jussi Smollett?
Yeah.
He'll find another job somewhere.
No, he won't. Nobody's going to ever hire that guy.
He's a gay black man. They're going to rehire him.
Except that he faked a hate crime to get publicity, and everybody hates him now.
That's just a movie. He'll play himself in a movie. That's fine. He'll make.
I think you're delusional. I like that you say the left never gets canceled for this shit, and when I say this guy's been canceled, you go, "Well, he's not really canceled. He's not going to be canceled forever. He'll come back.
He'll be back. How Charlie Sheen is still around, I have no idea.
Well, there you go. Is Charlie Sheen a lefty or a righty? I don't know.
I think he's pretty quiet. I think he's wherever the line comes from. I think that's where he stays on, buddy. Okay. Ron Jeremy today.
Let's Jeremy. Talk. What do you do? I like that you're calling the shots on my show here.
Absolutely. I tried to. I've got my list is almost done, so I got to follow you.
That's cool.
Okay. Ron Jeremy. Let's have a look here. Ron Jeremy was arrested and charged for sexually assaulting 4 women.
Wow.
Yeah, so apparently that he was. Well, he's an asshole. Like,
yeah,
the wannabe Super Mario. He's giving Mario a bad name. What? So, like, it sounds like he did some real dirty stuff from what he's been charged with.
Can you give any details? I don't know if.
Yeah, sure. So Jeremy.
Jeremy was saying it's 22.
Is it 22? I got 4 here from the LA Times.
Okay.
So I got charged with forcible rape, forcible oral Copulation, sexual battery.
Wow, that's shitty.
Yeah, it sounds like Jeremy attacked a 25-year-old woman at a West Hollywood home in 2014. Then sexually assaulted 2 women in West Hollywood bar in 2017, raping a woman at the same bar in July of 2019. So he could face up to 90 years in prison if he's convicted.
Send him to the fucking chair.
Yeah, I mean, yet again, I don't know what the fuck that guy's thinking.
What does it say about a guy who professionally gets laid, still fucking rapes? What a piece of shit. Fuck that guy.
Absolutely fuck that. You and I can agree. There you go.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
We could still be fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Basically, that's exactly what it is. Fuck that guy. He's such a dirty prick. I don't even think he's got 5 years left in him. Like him and fucking Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. Another lefty that's been fucking crucified.
He deserves to be crucified.
I know, but I'm saying after Bulletproof, and there's just another example.
Harvey Weinstein's so fucking fat, he's on both sides. Don't even come at me. That fat fuck.
He is a fat fuck, but he's definitely a lefty. Same thing with Bill Cosby. Another piece of shit who is a lefty, but they both deserve to die in jail.
Well, they're going to die in jail, I would imagine. Actually, Crosby just got, what do you get? He got appeal. He got
an appeal?
Well, yeah, he got granted the okay for an appeal today. That's another thing on my list. So, I mean, that guy, there's a possibility that
he didn't get the appeal. He's an opportunity.
No, so he got the opportunity to. He didn't get it before. Now he's got it. And with COVID, he might get released.
What? Fuck that.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, as appeal, you're proving you're still innocent. So with COVID and his age, he could get released.
How with COVID? Okay. How does that work? How does he get a release because of COVID? I don't understand that. He's not less guilty of rape for fucking 40 years because he could get a disease.
Hey, man, don't fucking look at me.
Okay, all right.
Fuck, I don't know. I'm just saying the American justice system sucks. So does Canada's.
Yeah, I'm not shooting the messenger. That's just Facebook, right?
No, that is some type of fucking thing coming up on my computer.
Oh, okay.
I don't give a fuck, whatever it is. I think it's a chat.
Here's my question. How can I hear your computer making noises despite the fact that you have headphones and a microphone? I'm not
going to lie to you. Give me a sec. I might just turn the sound down.
Because that shit should not be able to make it to your microphone. It should all be coming in here, and now I can hear everything.
Holy fuck. What the fuck, Adam? What did you do?
Oh, well, whatever. It's okay. Technical difficulties. We'll sort them out later.
We'll sort it out later. Next time we get together, we won't have those. There's a lot of stuff I'm kind of looking up here that I'm just kind of laughing at, right? Another one here, Walmart.
Yeah.
Selling the All Lives Matter shirt.
Yeah.
Now, is it ironic that the shirt's in black and in white and red? I looked at it, I'm like, that's kind of ingenious.
It's not, because it's an All Lives Matter shirt. Walmart, get your shit together. This is ridiculous.
Walmart, you're telling Walmart to get their shit together when you can go on YouTube and watch 45,000 hours of people in Walmart walking around and you laugh the whole time. Well, yeah. That's Walmart's. That's what Walmart does.
Walmart's not the most moral company. They're known for
sweatshops and.
Well, I don't know about sweatshops, but union busting, and they like to keep their employees below 40 hours so they don't have to give them benefits and things like that. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, so they're not the greatest company. Now they fucking support All Lives Matter instead of Black Lives Matter. So fuck that company. Fuck Walmart.
Oh, don't come at me with Black Lives Matter. I still don't like them.
What?
Dude, okay. So let me tell you why I don't like Black Lives Matter. Okay.
This is a very disappointing talk.
This is not a disappointing talk. I believe in I believe in what they're going through, and they're finally coming out of it. I'll stand behind them for that. I won't stand behind Black Lives Matter. When they went through all that shit in Chicago with that kid, and I tried to buy a shirt to show support when it first opened, asked you your race. I said I was Caucasian. They said, no, only black people. Down in Toronto, you couldn't buy a shirt because it was only for black people. I'm like, we need to get equality, so let me buy your shirt. Who cares? My money's the same color as yours. What's it matter?
I guess, but you should.
But like, so that's I don't the name itself, the movement I'm right behind. Hey, you and I we've seen racist cops before. I've seen them firsthand when it comes to dealing with natives up in Northern Ontario. It happens. You know what I mean? Totally. And like I've seen it. Like, and you and I were friends with natives in high school that we got the shitty end of a stick because we had a native with us. Like basically, like that's the whole world in a nutshell. I stand behind what they're going through, and I'll support them that way and get rid of dirty cops, of course. But I'm not gonna sit here and support the faction itself of Black Lives Matter. Like, they took over. What, they take over Seattle? Like, they have.
I don't know if that was Black Lives Matter that took.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it is. But what is it? The Chaz Zone or the Chaw Zone or whatever it was?
Yeah, I've heard they've took over like a large portion of Seattle. I don't know all the information on that, so I don't really want to talk on it too much. But I've heard that it's like a cop-free zone, and so
there's no government. It just they took over these. Kind of funny was they took over this area. I think it was 6 blocks in Seattle. Seattle kind of let them have it. They're like, yeah, you take it. They built a wall around their compound of 6 blocks. So who commented, and it's a tweet, you can look it up. Trumpy tweets and says they took over 6 blocks. First thing they did was build a wall. I guess I was ahead of the time. And I'm like, oh, you fucking moron.
That guy sure knows how to troll, eh?
Oh, dude, he's the greatest. That's why he won his election. He's an internet troll, man. He's like, what's this, Twitter? Yeah, watch me piss everybody off. Cool. It's like fun. things that he got away with that he shouldn't have.
Oh, yeah, no. The guy's fucking bulletproof. What do they call him? The Teflon Don?
Well, yeah, basically, he is fucking goddamn.
Nothing sticks to that guy. It is incredible. It is incredible. The guy, everything. He's sexual assault, racism, everything. It just nothing sticks. Nothing sticks. Dude,
he was like, I want to grab him in the pussy. The guy who giggled, he got fucking canned.
I'm not supposed to laugh at that. That is not okay.
But the guy, no, but exactly. And they're like, no, he went up in popularity, 3 points. I'm like, come on, you can't win. It's fucking crazy, man.
Do you think he's gonna get reelected?
Yeah,
I do too, and it's terrible. I don't want him to get reelected, but it's inevitable. He is inevitable. He's fucking.
Thanos?
What?
Is Thanos? He's
Thanos. I was gonna say he's a fucking mad titan.
Oh yeah, but they got to get somebody good to run against him.
They got Biden. They got Biden to run against him.
Biden should have ran 20 years ago. That old fuck.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
They had Bernie. Bernie was supposed to win. If Bernie had gotten past Hillary, he would have beat him. That's what all the fucking polls said. And then the fucking Democratic Party conspired against him and lost the election because of it.
And he stayed on their side. He didn't go as a fucking independent. Stupid fuck. Well, fuck him. He wants to get bent over, but he's dumb.
I don't know if he's stupid.
But he's too close to socialism. Like
what?
Bernie Sanders, socialist? He's a socialist.
He has some socialist ideas, things like free college for everyone. Sure.
But he wants to make the middle class a number, and then anything over that number combined salary, he wants to put them in a different tax bracket. So if your mom and dad make $250,000 a year, the minute they make $251,000 a year, they want 50% tax.
But wouldn't it be every dime at over?
No, he wants to charge. That's what he wants to do, is charge them all.
He wants a flat tax instead of a tax bracket.
No, so anything you go over 250,000, you want like 50 or 60% or 70% of them taxed from that.
But
so Bernie, you're not going to win. It's almost like you got to be libertarian. You got to go, I like a little bit of the right, I like a little bit of the left, and you got to hope everybody likes you. But you can't have these guys that have been around since, I don't even know. Like, they're old. They went to school with Jesus Christ himself. Like, and they're 105 years old, and they don't know what they're doing. You need somebody young to run in there, and they could take them out. That's why Obama was libertarian. Go ahead.
I was going to say libertarian is an interesting idea on paper, but once you get it into practice, you kind of have to have a lot of money for it to work.
Yeah, but same with socialism. Like Bernie Sanders.
No, socialism, I would say the opposite is you don't need a lot of money for it to work.
Well, you're just going to take everybody else's money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is higher taxes. Absolutely. There's going to be higher taxes in a socialist society.
Dude, we're living in Canada right now with the CERB. We're living in a semi-socialist environment right now, and it sucks. You even said it. I lost a shit ton of money. I wanted to go to EI. We started this conversation off with, you wanted to be on EI, but now you're on CERB. Mm-hmm. That's free money that the government's going to tax you in January. I think
you're going to take all the CERB money back that they gave me, to be honest.
No, they're not going to take the CERB. They're going to tax you on that money. They'll probably tax you between 17 and 22%, depending on how much you made before and after. Mm-hmm. So that's what you'll have to pay back.
So the thing is wouldn't you consider Canada a socialist country already, since we have government health care?
No, because we're paying into it. Well, we are taxing.
That's how socialism works.
No, socialism is take the rich, put everybody on the same playing field, and everybody kind of gets the same thing. Almost communism, but just a little far off, where everybody shares the same pot. So
everybody shares the same health care.
Okay, so where socialism will work is your household. So your mom and dad put all their money in one bank account, and it's shared. That's socialism. You put all your money in a pot, and then it's shared. But now, if your mom makes $100,000 a year and your dad makes $200,000 a year, you have $300,000 in that pot. Now, I make $5,000 a year. I put my money in, and I take the same amount of money that you and your mom and your dad have. How is that fair?
That's exactly what I just described with fucking healthcare, though, right? Like you're getting taxed. Everybody's taxed on how much income they get. That's the same, no matter unless we're getting into like communism. That's. Whatever.
I don't understand socialism. I'm going to smash my head against the fucking wall soon. Jesus Christ. Move on, because I'm going to yell.
Right. Well, it sounds like your problem is you don't like the higher taxes.
No, not at all. I'm not saying that at all. If you're going to tax me. Yeah, see, so like Daryl's saying, like, yeah, I heard it's close to $400 on every $2,000 you got. So that's what it shouldn't have been in taxes. Yeah.
For sure. I think I'll get into it off the air, but I think I'm going to end up having to pay all of the CERB back.
What'd you do? Double dip?
Not on purpose.
You're an idiot.
I signed up for EI and they sent me fucking whatever.
No, I think you're fine though. So I signed up for EI. I got approved for EI. And then the government was like, no, you're going to CERB. So every time I applied for EI, I believe that was still considered CERB. So if you just went online and took your little 4-digit code, you put your SIN number in, your 4-digit code, and then you applied that way, I believe that is still CERB.
Well, what if you got EI and CERB?
What do you get, like 8,000 a month? 4,000 a month?
8,000. No, it would be about 4,000 a month. The thing is I was on and off.
4,000 a month? What the hell? I'd be on the massive bender for 4,000 a month. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, I don't do benders, so.
So what are you? So if you have all that money still,
I don't have all that money still. I have bills.
Like, what do you have? Hookers and blow?
No.
No, but seriously, like invest that money then. If you put it in like.
No, it's just that I've been on and off EI because I've gone to work and been laid off and gone to work and been laid off. So sometimes I was getting EI and sometimes I was getting CERB, and there is a gray area there. So I think I'm going to end up having to pay. It's fucked. My taxes are going to be fucked at the end of the year. So
you're getting fucked by the Liberal government. So we're going to get rid of them whenever election time comes.
When did you turn into a fucking righty? When the fuck did that happen?
Dude, I'm not so much a righty. I believe that some of the stuff the government's doing is good, but some of it I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, yeah, but see, there's a difference now. So down south here, I got to go get a fucking e-test done every year on my fucking car. You don't have to do that. I had to pay for that too until up to like once the Liberal government got out, they said no more of that. No, we're paying carbon tax down here, man.
Yeah,
we pay a massive. We pay a massive.
Huntsville, I think, right?
Yeah, so so once you draw a basic line right across Ontario, anything south of Huntsville, because of your population, I got to pay more for shit. So where you get a discount, I got to pay more. So yeah, how the fuck is that fair?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, don't call me a righty. I'm not a righty. I'm not a lefty. I'm not a right. I'm kind of in the middle.
Now you're a righty.
Yeah, basically, you're gonna put my fucking right foot right up your ass. That's the kind of radio I
Don't
am.
say you're praying. I already ran you out of town.
And I took over to 401, you fucking bastard. All right, let's have a look here. What else we got? Oh, new math coming, I guess. I'm just on. Anything else? Anybody else want new math coming out for the new curriculum in Ontario?
I don't know anything about new math. I learned the old math, and
it'll be some of the old math, but they're also going to give you some coding and financial literacy. So they'll tell you like how to pay your bills and stuff. Yeah, I think it's good. Oh, when did you become the big righty? Oh, yeah. Jackass. But there is so many different things from the south to the north that I've noticed since I've been here 4 years now. 4 years in August, and there is so much more of a difference, man.
What do you mean?
Racism down here is a little bit bigger than it is. Oh yeah, dude. Like we have a bunch of students from India that came in to Loyalist College on like their scholar or whatever they call it, like their student visas. Okay. And to stay here, they got to get a job and work so many hours. People won't hire them because they're like, dude, Browns. Now I'm good. I'm like, dude, they're great workers.
That's terrible. That is terrible.
Yeah, hey man, and it is what it is. And I run into a lot of racist people down here. And I'm like, God, go back to your NASCAR. Like you gotta want to be able to do something with your life and better yourself. It's the only way we're gonna grow. Is like we don't want goddamn Americans up here. Oh, lost my gun, and they want to be like, oh, this stuff.
Whoa, we don't have to badmouth the fucking Americans, man.
What are they gonna do? Build a wall?
There's nothing wrong. I have many American friends. They're wonderful people.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with Americans, but the ones we're going to get are the ones we're not going to want.
It's funny. Americans say the same thing about people south of their border. Now we're saying this about them south of our border. I'm not saying anything bad about the people south of the border, but we're not going to get the good ones. Is all I'm saying.
It's true, though. They call us snow Mexicans. Like, they don't give a shit about us in Canada. Like, they don't care. Like that's the thing is that I believe in equality and all that stuff, but we have to grow, and to grow we're going to need to get people into our country. That's true. You have to do.
So you're having like a reverse racism. So you're saying like we want immigrants, but not the ones from America. We want immigrants from.
No, I'm not even saying the ones from America. I'm saying the ones we would get from America are all coming down through Cornwall, and they're all kind of climbing through the border where there's like nobody stopping them. Okay. They're just coming across and claiming asylum, and they're slowly trickling them down the 401.
Okay.
So we're getting the ones who have the criminal records, who are illegals in that, and that's where everything's coming from, right? Like we're not getting like Dr. Phil's not coming up to Canada to live. You know what I mean? Like we're not getting the immigration we need. Okay. We're getting the immigration we're getting stuck with. And that's what we got to kind of look at it and go, shit, do we want to do that? Do we want to keep it that way? Or do we just got to take the good with the bad and try and work our way through it, right?
I guess so. But I'll tell you this much. For now, we should just keep the borders closed until this COVID shit clears up, because there's no way we should open the American border this year.
Oh, now you know what? Oh, this year. Listen to you.
What?
I'm saying we got to be selective. You're like, fuck it. Don't get any of them in here. Don't let them all in. None of them.
Fuck selective.
Fuck select. Wow. You went extreme on me.
Because of the coronavirus, man.
Oh, sure. That's it. Yeah. Oh, so you don't like Mexicans now? Huh? You got some Libre Mass in the background, but you don't like them. I see how it is. Racist.
Okay. This one is Lucha Libre, but he's basically American. This one, Lucha Libre, but pretty much got their most exposure in America. And this one, Jushin Thunder Liger, Japanese. And this one, Tiger Mask, Japanese.
Can you repeat that but backwards and in French?
Why?
Exactly. Shut up. Nobody cares.
I'm just saying, don't say they're Mexican masks. You see a mask, you hear Mexican?
Yes. Those look like Lucha Libre masks.
You're mask racist, sir.
I'm mask racist?
Yeah.
Yeah, just when I see a dumb one. I like hockey masks. I like goalie masks.
All right, so what else do you got? We really didn't get into the Cornette shit.
I didn't really want to get into it because like it comes down to
that was like
I know I did. I kind of wanted to, and then I'm like, fuck it. I don't really want to, because like if it was your dream, that's your dream. If that's your dream to be a wrestler, And Cornette says, we're going to put the strap on you. You're going to make the most amount of money. All you got to do is sleep with my old lady and let me smack you in the ass with a tennis racket. Are you going to do it?
No.
but that's what I'm saying is that the people who I think deserve to be in those positions, who I think would treat everybody equally, aren't in those positions because the way that the people get in those positions are like snakes and rats, and they kind of just crawl their way through. And then when they get there, they fuck it all up for everybody else.
So you're saying Jim Cornette is a snake and a rat?
Absolutely. You can't take advantage of people when they're trying to make a living. That is fucking ridiculous.
Did you happen to hear his podcast that he dropped the other night?
No, I don't give a fuck. I stopped listening to him because he's a cocksucker.
Well, he is a cocksucker. He's a racist, actually. So I don't like him for that reason. But it sounds like he thinks that a lot of this is taken out of context. I don't know if I believe him, though. I honestly, that's where I'm at is I've heard his side of the story, and I'm not sure if I believe him.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's because you got to backpedal, right? And then, some of his friends come on and go, yeah, we've seen it happen all the time. And Corny would make a joke about it. Yeah.
Well, I think he admits to being a cuck. He's like, yeah, I let people fuck my wife. That's cool. And
she's not even hot, though. She's not.
Yeah. No, I agree.
She's a fucking whale that got hit in fucking the St. Lawrence River, for fuck's sakes.
But I don't care if somebody wants to let somebody fuck their wife. That's fine. Hey, that's your prerogative. Go right ahead. The part where it gets into
So wait, are you a cuck?
No, fuck you. What do you mean?
Well, I don't know, man. You're like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Somebody wants to fuck their wife.
I don't give a fuck if somebody wants to fuck their wife, but stay in my relationship. That's how they do their shit. I'm not one to judge. That's all I'm saying.
You've been judging for 20 minutes.
How have I been judging? I've been judging you. You're guilty.
I'm just getting a bunch of texts. I'm actually looking at my phone.
Oh, yeah?
And yeah, people are saying do you see my comments? And we got comments on Facebook.
I see most of the comments in the chat. On Facebook, there's some, but we're not really.
Joe Rogan. They're just trying to talk about Joe Rogan surviving.
What happened to Joe Rogan?
Oh man, Joey Diaz was making. Joey Diaz. You will follow the Rogan podcast. Joey Diaz made a comment off the remark about a girl at the comedy club that they all used to work at. And Diaz used to be a headliner and was like, hey, yeah, so these girls walk in, want to be comics, and then prime time, so they give me a quick one, and they get the time they wanted. And Rogan laughed. He just ah! They were like, cancel Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan's like, you go fuck yourself. Yeah, dude, they are on everybody right now. It is fucking crazy. You can't win. Really, honestly.
Here's the thing is, and now I might get in trouble for saying this. If the girl offers and says, hey, I'll do you a favor if you help me out, is that a bad thing? Whereas if it's the other way, I think it's wrong. If it's a guy saying, do this or I won't help you out, that's absolutely wrong. But if the person's like, hey, I'll do this for you if you'll help me out.
Me thinking about it, I don't know. I don't think I thought about it a little too long, right?
Because the way that you said it is, she came up to him and said, hey, I'll do.
No, I want to say maybe Diaz was if you want it, and I think that's kind of was his thing. If you want it, you got to give me a quick one.
Yeah, well then that's wrong. That's absolutely wrong.
But at the same spot, if I don't know, man, if I asked you for help, it's hey, Adam, I need half of your serve money because you kept it all, because I'm gonna die if I don't get it. You're gonna get it, right? You know what I mean?
Not if I have to suck your dick to do it.
That's what I'm saying, though. If you're willing to give it to somebody, just because they deserve it or whatever have you, that doesn't mean anything. You have to be. It doesn't mean anything. You have to want to be able to do it. If I were to say to you, Adam, if you drive, let's meet halfway. I'll meet in Huntsville, but why don't you just come a little closer, Bancroft, and we'll meet at Bancroft. We'll have lunch or whatever have you. That would really help me out. You'd be like, yeah, it sounds good. That's great. But hey, Adam, if you drive to Bancroft, I'll give you the quick how's you go. That's where it's at, right?
I don't think these are fair comparisons. The difference is that somebody has the power that they're holding over you. They hold a certain amount of power over you, and they say, if you don't do this thing, I won't give you what you want.
Harvey Weinstein, all the way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, Harvey Weinstein, yes, but Harvey Weinstein also did hold people down and rape them. But he did do the power thing too, which is terrible too. He's all shades of bad.
Yeah, would you suck a dick for $1 million? 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million.
What's your number?
Probably $6. No, but like Pam Anderson came on fire for that. Said if you went into Harvey Weinstein, when you went to Harvey's office and you wanted a pay raise on that next movie, you know what you had to do. And you did it, you got the paycheck, and nobody complained. So it's a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
Some of the ones that use it and abuse it ruin it for the females that are being held back, and
it's not a good thing to do at all. It shouldn't happen at all.
They're pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Well, I was gonna get back to the Cornette thing and say that his claim, it doesn't matter. That's it. We're done.
We're done. Oh, you want to just end it?
Right now, do you got something else you want to talk about?
I don't know. When's the next? Actually, a couple questions for you. When's the next time you think you will have fans watching a indie wrestling promotion? Like in the seats.
I think it's gonna be a while, man. Like
now,
I think it's gonna be the last thing that happens. Like I think once this COVID shit's gone, that's when you're gonna get stuff like pro wrestling.
I don't think COVID will ever be gone. The way it sounds is they're just finding antibodies that are just
never be gone.
I don't think so. I think it'll continue to mutate like the flu.
Well, I've read stuff. Well, I don't know. There's information getting updated all the time, but from what I had read and heard, is the flu is a DNA strand and wait, is it a DNA strand or an RNA strand?
I'm not a doctor, man. I don't fucking know.
Basically, the long and the short of it is that COVID takes up so much of the chain of genetics that if it mutates, it won't be enough to create a new virus. So if you have antibodies to it, you'll probably be immune to whatever it mutates to, is what I've heard doctors say. Now, this shit changes daily. So,
well, I was going to say today they were saying that the antibodies they're finding now in China, the antibodies are only lasting about 3 months. And then those antibodies are gone. So it's almost going to be like they got to maybe every year you have to get a shot. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting. Because with the flu, they're guessing with the flu. They're guessing which strand of the flu you're getting an antibody for. But I guess that wouldn't be the same because of what I just said earlier. Is you're just going to get a shot of the same antibody every year.
Absolutely, that's exactly what it is, right? So I mean, who knows? I honestly think that pro wrestling has to go to like what some of the other females are doing, like a fans only.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not saying strip and get naked, like just you would pay to watch Northland Wrestling as an example, or whatever your promotion would be, and they would put a show on for you with those guys. Like, that's the only way you're gonna ever make money again in that industry.
So sorry, what are you saying? You're saying
so you would have to pay to watch that one channel. Like if you were to go, hey, Northland will put a show on every quarter if you pay us $120 a yearly subscription of $120, and we'll have like interviews with people. We'll kind of make it our own kind of channel. It's the only way you're going to make money out of it now, because I don't see people risking their lives to go watch any type of wrestling. Yeah. Even sports right now is kind of up in the air, right? Yeah. Like when people probably don't like my view is I don't think the NFL's coming this year. They could piss and moan and say it's going to. There's no way. It's way too big, and one person gets COVID, it'll kill everybody. And some of those guys are out of shape and really big guys. I don't think any sports. I think sports will happen, but I think they're going to be shut down.
I don't agree. I think that they're going to develop a vaccine, and I think that, I mean, realistically, if everybody stayed inside and fucking social distanced, we could get this thing beat. I see light at the end of the tunnel. I think that we are going to come to a point where COVID will be wiped out. Whether it's a vaccine or herd immunity or whatever. Like we're seeing it in Canada. Canada, we've only had 300 new cases today in all of Canada.
Dude, Toronto's going to phase 2 tomorrow.
I know. And it's like has been said, it's as they've said, this is becoming more and more of a Toronto problem than a Canada problem, and that's probably what's going to happen.
What you want to do? Build a wall around Toronto and drop a bomb on it? Like, what do you want to do?
No,
it's not fair to those guys. But those guys don't have the opportunities that we do. Like my apartment's like 700, maybe 900 square feet or 850 square feet. Like that's 3 apartments in Toronto. Like, and my wife and I are already yelling at each other.
Yeah, well, the population density in Toronto is going to be a problem.
It is, and like here's an example of like, so people from Toronto probably aren't going to North Bay unless they live in North Bay. I live on the 401, so it's like, hey, Belleville is an hour. We're an hour and 10 from downtown Toronto if you do the right speed.
Yeah,
you know what's an hour drive, really, for anybody.
The difference though is, I mean, no offense, I don't know why anybody would go there. Whereas in North Bay, they're coming here to go camping. Like people are coming up.
You got your little Google machine there. Type in Sandbanks.
Okay, why? Why don't you just tell me?
So Picton, we call it the county. It's the third biggest wine area in Canada. Okay. Maybe second, right behind the Oaks. We got 1 million people a year come through Sandbanks.
Okay, well, and I'm sure a lot of them are from Toronto. So,
dude, we've been open for like what 2 weeks, getting guys from Toronto rolling in for a haircut at First Choice. Like they're lined up around the block. Like they don't give a shit, man. If you got nothing to do, you're sitting at home. What's a 2-hour drive there and back?
So they need to keep people in Toronto then.
How the hell are you gonna do? Like, how the hell are you gonna do that? Like, you pull somebody over and go, "Oh, you're from Toronto. What are you doing?" Well, technically, it's not illegal to drive. Like, what do you want them to do? And I feel bad for them. Like, you got to look at their mental health too. You can't just go, "Well, you know what? I don't want grandma to get sick." Well, yeah, okay, grandma, stay inside, because it's their mental health too. We can't just pick and choose who we want to. We got to treat everybody equally, right? Like, we already had this conversation. I just think that these in Toronto, like, they can't avoid each other, so it's just going to continue to get going and going and going. Unless they just say, fuck it, lock Toronto down for 2 weeks and nobody fucking moves. That's the only way you can do it.
I think they should do something like that. Like they need to tighten up the restrictions in Toronto. They need to keep people in Toronto from traveling.
How the fuck are you going to do that? Our military is smaller than the Toronto police force, for fuck's sakes. So, like, what am I going to do? Shoot them with our rifles from World War I?
I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't really.
No, I'm just saying, like, we got to look at situations on what are we going to do? Like, do we just go street to street and go, this street can't come out this week and this one can come out this day and so on and so forth? Like, you can't police it. How do you police it? Because you can't put more people down there, because when those people disperse and go home, they're going to bring COVID with them. Yeah. So you're fucked. What do you got to do?
I don't know, man. I think people need to stay inside, and they need to maybe extend CERB, at least for Toronto people. And
I don't
really have the answers, man. Like, I don't really know. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. But I mean, it's just something you got to look outside, trying to look outside the box until we get the antibodies that we can inject people. Like, COVID's always going to be here, always. And if not, some stupid asshole in China will eat a dingo or something and they'll fuck us up even more. Guy eats a bat and we're in lockdown for fucking six months. Fucking guy.
You know, they're saying that Trump might have been right and that it was made in a lab in China.
Okay, we're not going down that rabbit hole, man. I don't got fucking a week. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, that's it. You're fucking more right-handed than I am, you prick.
I'm just saying. There's a lot of. I'm not a righty. I'm.
You're not a righty. Yeah, okay. Heard that one before. All right, man. All right. Well, when do you want to do this again? It looks like we got some good feedback and people have been watching it. This should be one of your higher videos, so.
Looks like people enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said, we should do this again. I work 4 to 12 all this coming week.
Yep.
So I can't really do it unless you can do it after midnight. I don't think you want to do that though.
Fucking doing it after midnight, you jackass.
You can't do it. Oh, echo! Whoa.
Yeah, no, I turned YouTube on. I wanted to see something. And your video popped up like an asshole. Yeah, I don't know, man. So next week you're on nights, you said?
Yeah, next week I'm on evenings.
Evenings. Maybe like a Saturday afternoon or something. I'd probably make some time there.
Yeah, okay.
Saturday afternoon delight.
We'll pencil it in, and when you're available, we'll go from there.
Yeah, all right. Saturday afternoon then. Yeah. What's Saturday? You want to do it this Saturday or next Saturday? Let's go next Saturday. Let's give ourselves a week and a half. We'll do it next. Do it next. Just give us some news and some shit to kind of talk back and forth. We'll meet back and we'll see what part of the world fell apart then.
Okay.
So
cool.
You want to end the live chat, or what do you want to do?
Sure. Well, thanks for coming on the show, and I hope to see everybody in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, and